All right. Good morning. Oh, that's not how we do this. Come on, what am I thinking here? Mega GMs. Mega GMs, how we doing today? Another live show. Actually kind of like this. Week number 2. Yeah, we'll catch up on the market the past week, a wild week. One that I don't think any of us were expecting. I wasn't. Gonna wait and see if anybody hops on in before I really start diving into the market. But even if nobody's watching, still doing this thing. I don't think people realize. I'm not really doing it for the views. I mean, the part's cool. It'll come. It's practice now. It's getting in reps. In 2 years, though, watch out. Keeping an eye out, though. I think my little brother, Henry the Grape, is going to be joining here. Maybe a couple more. Maybe we'll get a special guest or two. Damn, though. What a week, though. All right. While we're at it, peek over at some charts. Here, I'm a little slow navigating these screens, but what else? Does that work? No, we want bigger than that. Little better? Little better? No, worse, 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 worse. Boom. Here, let's go there. Okay, all right. GMs, whoever just joined. Kind of waiting for a special guest to arrive. Maybe a couple more people to trickle in. But while we're waiting, I'm just looking over the market here because, I don't know. I was just saying here, the market this week is not what anybody was expecting. I wasn't. I can't imagine anybody was. But a beautiful thing, right? Almost had 6 days, 5 days in a row of up. Thursday broke that trend. God damn it, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday we fell. But awesome week. And it's both in sales, but also in value. That was what I wasn't expecting. We've all been waiting to find a floor, right? Where's the bottom? How far do we fall? And in NFTs, maybe we found that floor. Maybe we found that bottom. It's hard to know for sure. What is it, 2 months still to go to get to the end of the year? I don't know. This energy, we've seen it come and go. Could fizzle out. But 8Fest is next week. There's things coming that can bring some hype. So, hey, good morning, cats. Cats, I'm waiting just a few. Not really waiting. I'm still just going to shoot the shit. But waiting to see if anybody wants to pop in. Gonna hit on the top stories from the past week. All stuff we've probably covered in some form, but I don't get a chance to to really riff on it, to really get into some thoughts here. in those daily videos are kind of, you know, quick points and then moving on, which I love. But there's stuff I want to talk about. Hopefully get a couple people up here to chat about them. What cool stuff this week. The Ryder Rip story, probably, if it weren't for the market being up, that would have been our biggest story this week. I have a couple. I tried to list them, and they're blocked everywhere now. By the way, Cats? Yeah, Cats, I think Henry will join. If he's got to do breakfast, it might be a minute. Hey, is the music too loud? Do you even hear music? It's the Kong's theme song. But yeah, getting Henry up here would be cool. I want Henry for either a daily show or a weekly show, and I don't know if that Spaces or here. Maybe here. The guys I was talking to yesterday that I told you about, the Web3 guys, we were chatting, and they've actually interviewed him before, so it's always funny when people make the connection that we're related. They're like, no shit. They're like, Henry? Like, from Kong's? So, it was pretty cool. That'll be interesting, too, with those guys. Part of me, man... Volume's fine. All right, cool. I gotta say, though, yeah, like, and you know about this because I've talked about it a bit, but, like, part of me just wants to be entirely solo. Like, I know in the world of social media and, you know, you're trying to build an audience, it's easier, it works better to, like, have this network because this person has a show at this time and this person has a show, you know, the next hour, and you kind of promote each other. So I get it, but I don't know. It's really appealing to me to do my own thing entirely because I don't care about the watches and the followers yet. You know, in 2 years, if there's nobody watching, then it's like, all right, well, it's a lot of time going into something that nobody's watching. I don't believe no one will be watching in a couple years. So we'll see. We'll see. What's good with you though, Cats? How's your week been? And actually, what do you think was the top story this week? God, how cool is this, by the way? I'm going to talk about this in a few. Cool, man. Good. I imagine you're busy this morning, too. That dad life. Shit's real. Did you see the Snow Pepin announcement? This is... Oh, man. Really wishing I had my Opepin still. Still think I sold it at the right time. I think it's half the price it was. But I always knew when they announce big collabs that they'll take off. And you know what it is? It's if you land one of those. If you opt in and you get picked to win one of those, you're sitting on a multi-ETH piece. That's what this will be. These will go for, man, a freaking fortune. There you go, Cats. You sound just like Henry. It's breakfast time. Mine are all still sleeping. We got a birthday party today. My middle kid, my daughter, crazy, man. She's turning 13 in just a few days here. So yeah, we're going to some like bounce. I don't know what they call them. It's not a bounce house, but like a little trampoline place. I can't remember the name, but it should be fun. And then a sleepover, which would be interesting for my videos. I'm gonna have to record tonight, and then like edit in the morning in a different room. It'll be interesting. All right, hang on. I want to go to the Opepin site. Dude, again, really interesting that now they've partnered with or had a collab with Pudgy Penguins. Now Snowfro. And I honestly, I think the craziest is still to come. They've definitely hinted that a Beeple collab is coming. So if they keep stacking up, man, if they keep stacking up people like that to do collaborations with, I mean, this collection, you have to hit it, you know, like you not landing them makes it a little tricky, right? There's plenty of these that are awesome, but we're not going to find a ton of value in them. But if you hit one of those big ones, man, you hit the Snow Pepin, you're in for a payday. And hopefully you're a big fan and you're keeping it anyways. God, these are cool. I didn't see them animated yet. They are cool, though. Okay, so I had a 10 edition. I don't know if you know how these work exactly, right? There's 5 different tiers. There's 6 tiers. There's a 40 edition in each set, by the way. There's a 40 edition, a 20 edition, a 10 edition, a 4 edition, and then a 1 of 1. So right here is the 40 edition, and it is animated. Okay, I thought the 40 edition would be like just kind of static. So there's the 1. I'm sorry, that was the 40. Here's the 20. That one's really cool. Here's the 10. And again, that's what I had. I had the 10 edition unrevealed. I just found that each week, the 10 edition was almost my least favorite every time. I didn't like that. Like, sometimes the 40 edition was the best looking one. The 1/1, even if it didn't look the best, you had value there because it's the 1/1. But the 10 edition, like, I don't know. It felt so mid to me, and maybe that makes sense with it being 10. But, if the 40 edition looks better, and if the price difference between the 40 edition and the 10 isn't much at all, and it wasn't, then, what's the point? So what was that there? The 5. Okay, there's a 5 edition. So, okay. 40, 20, 10, 5, and 4. That's the edition sizes. Then you got the 1/1. Oh, I love the 4 editions. Really cool. But the 1/1, I mean... Oh, the 1/1's not animated. That one is the static one. That's cool. So very much like a... actually, maybe you can toggle an animation, but way more like the chromey squiggle. It's really cool. Huge opt-in. This one's definitely going to happen. So if not enough people opt in, they have their unrevealed, you have to opt in with your unrevealed. If not a high enough percentage opts in, the set doesn't go. And they've had plenty of sets where they don't reach that threshold, and the set gets scrapped and they move on to the next idea here. But yeah, this one's definitely happening. That 1/1 I bet goes for, what would you guess? I'm going to guess like, I'd probably say almost 10 ETH. There's just enough Jack Butcher and O'Peppin fans, stack that on top of Snowfro, and you got a winner there. But yeah, some of these other sets, I'll show you the 10 editions that I just don't love. And these ones like this, they're a little more abstract. It's like they're all the same in a way. It's really leaning into the idea of the token itself as the art. Yeah, 10 ETH or so, yep. It won't be shocked if it goes higher, but that'd be for like a mega fan, right? Like it value-wise, I don't know. It's a flex of a PFP, though. But yeah, scrolling through them, like, the difference here between the 40 edition and even the 1/1, it's the color. So this is, it really leans into the idea that the token is the value, the token is the art, and it's playing into the idea of, like, rarity and scarcity, which is awesome. Like, I love that. When I talked about Rider Rips earlier this week, and I'm gonna today too, that's why I like those, and that's why I think, in a way, they should have value still. Like, the token is a statement. I think the Rider Rips thing, bullshit aside, right? Like the IP trademark, whatever, it's punk rock. It's a statement on art and copying things. And, throughout history, that's been a statement artists made that a lot of people don't get. It's a strange concept. I get why people don't get it. And I don't want to claim that I get it at some other like next level, but I think those tokens have some value. Well, shit, not now. You can't trade them anywhere. So I can't remember if I said this at the very beginning. Looks Rare was the only place you could still trade them right now as far as like major marketplaces. And as of yesterday, they blocked them too. I did hear that if you list multiple, it goes through. It's just something an oversight on their part. But as of now, you can't sell them. They're not on OpenSea. They're not on Blur. I don't know that there's any third-party marketplaces yet for these. There will be. I hope sooner rather than later, but yeah, when our last sale here was like 6-7 hours ago. Wow, it was a 0.69 ETH sale too for a gold one. And these aren't wash trades too. It's kind of idiots like me thinking they're just cool. I don't know. I'm surprised they lost that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I'm not surprised they lost that case. I just was hoping they wouldn't, in a way. But the defamation part, right? Like, the damage they did to the Yuga brand is really real. It's really, really huge. And it's something in the past I didn't consider. Like Bored Apes can't partner with Disney. They can't partner with anyone because of those racism claims they've been, putting all over the internet. It really did damage to their brand. So like we've talked before, Yuga's going to come out with another PFP that'll be the face of Yuga Labs. Like on the DGen side, it's always going to be Bored Apes. But for mass market kind of things like it can't be Bored Apes. You have like esports teams won't partner with Bored Apes or Yuga Labs for that very reason. They just can't be associated with it. All right, so I guess I'm going to start at the market at this point. Might as well. And I'm going to touch on all those same topics again, just in case if Henry does join here. Let's go here. Market's kind of bouncing all over the place, value-wise. When I looked at this first thing in the morning, it was up like 0.3%. Then it dropped 0.3%. Now it's up 0.6%. And I'm always wondering, like the audience of NFTs, the people like us who trade, what's the demographic? Young people who maybe are not around on the weekends, or parents, I guess that speaks to, it's the same there, right? Like we're all busy on the weekends. So like does trading usually go down on the weekends? Volume-wise, it does. But especially when it gets colder out and people are more inside, I wonder if that trend continues, I guess. Like if people are in the house more and they're more likely to trade. But anyway, yeah, up 0.61%. I'm just surprised how this has sustained. Not like I just wasn't expecting it at all. It's all from the Bitcoin news. It's all from the ETF speculation. Started when that fake announcement came from Cointelegraph. And even though it like kind of fell right after, people knew, the writing was on the wall that it's here, like it's imminent. But yeah, on the week up 2.76%, which is really impressive. Haven't seen that in a while. 30 days though, this is where I start questioning things, because we've had all kinds of days and weeks or a week at a time of being up. But 30 days, it's really hard other than January, February to finish in the green or on a positive note. And, we probably aren't this month as well. Let me see. We got 3 or 4 days left. So unless something crazy happens, yeah, I just don't know if we finish up. Like if we could call it an Uptober in NFTs. Let's take a look at October, I guess, just on its own. Yeah, still down 3.7%. So we need something kind of major. What number would we need to hit here? Oh, we'd have to cross over into the 1900s. Like we've never recovered 100 points. Other than, and I'll zoom out, but other than like January. Yeah, okay. See, so like January 1st, we were at like 4,100. And within like 2.5 weeks, we were over 5,000. Now this January, I bet we see the same thing. But it takes like that January kind of rush. And you've been there, Cats. You know what that feels like. What's happening now doesn't feel like that. Feels good. Like there's definitely some action, but it doesn't feel like the January kind of run. So yeah, I think we still end up with a Floptober. You know what? Maybe the takeaway is we can't call it a flop. Like down, but it was a really good month for NFTs. So looking at volume then. Up yesterday, 14.5 mil. Unique sellers and buyers actually sellers pretty much stagnant, almost exactly even. Buyers actually down. Total transactions down. Average sale price, I actually think this is interesting too, has been up almost every day. Let's see when that started. There is one down day there. So okay, from October 21st, $44 there, 47 on the 22nd, $52 on the 23rd, $60 on the 24th. Then we go 62, 61, 73, and today average price is 81. A lot of that has to do with the price of Ethereum being up. Yeah, dude, January. Hope we see that. I think we will. Maybe to a lesser degree than we did, this year and last year, but I think we're going to feel something in January. But yeah, average sale price going up right along with the price of Ethereum and Solana and all that stuff, right? Crypto prices going up, NFT prices going up because of it. But there is an X factor, and that is how many people are taking advantage of the market being better and they're dumping NFTs that had some value. Like while people are buying, dump your stuff. It's the whole take profits. Like don't make the mistake of not selling stuff when you had the opportunity. And the smart traders do that. So are they selling their Bored Apes and, maybe CryptoPunks? But you know what I'm talking about, like those top tier NFTs. Are people selling those? I'm going to switch my view. Oh, Henry's here. Cool. Henry, you are up. Give me a test. You're muted. Here, I'm going to unmute you. Let's see how that goes. If I can. Can't unmute your guest because you muted. All right. When you get a sec. You know what? That's
unmuted.
There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me? I got like crazy feedback.
I hear you. Yeah, you got feedback. Are you on speaker?
I'll leave and come back.
Okay. That feed. Oh, I remember why. Hang on. We had this issue last week too. Okay. Okay. I think he'll be okay if he joins back. I've got a setting on my Rodecaster. Feeds my computer audio like right through the stream feed, so it just kind of loops itself. But anyway, yeah, I think people are selling, taking profits. Big NFTs is what they're selling, and that drives the price, the average sale price up too. Usually, okay, maybe not usually, but it happens often enough. I see a correlation between the average sale price going up and trade profits being down, because a lot of these NFTs are still down from their all-time highs. A lot of them are at all-time lows. So people dump in these expensive NFTs that they're still taking a loss on, just less of a loss at this point. So there's my theory. It's a factor here. I'm not saying that's it, but that's something. It's something to consider. Sales price going up, average sale price going up, but profits going down. People dumping big NFTs. Now, that may be more true because we're seeing transactions going down. Less sales, higher prices, more losses. I don't know. Could be adding up. Henry, I bet it works for you now once you unmute. There's a setting on my end that might have been doing that.
Yeah, and I'm mobile. Okay, I don't have feedback now. How's it going?
GM Henry.
GM, sir. GMs. How are things?
See you unmuted. I don't hear you. Oh, now
really?
I do. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Mic check. Can you hear me, sir?
Henry, do you hear me?
I just heard you right now.
Right now. Okay. I have got it figured out. I had myself muted. This doesn't matter to you, but I've got this Rodecaster. That's where all my audio routes through. And unless I mute and also like pass through certain things, you get the echo. And then if I do it the wrong way, it mutes me. Anyway, it works now. Welcome to the show, dude. First time for you.
Long time listener, first time caller. Excited to be here.
Oh man.
And
dude,
apologies in advance. I'm on mobile and I'm traveling, so it might be.
That's all good.
Yeah, hopefully the background noise isn't too bad.
I know how it goes, and nobody watches. Like, Katz is here, but nobody watches. So I don't care. Dude, this is all practice. Like I was saying this to nobody earlier. I'm doing this regardless. It's like right now, I don't care if people watch. In 2 years, if I'm doing it still and nobody's watching, then that's maybe a problem. But it's practice now, and I fully believe it's going to work. So these guys at Web3, actually, they interviewed you once. You were on their show.
Was I?
Yeah, Web3. They spell it W3BTHR33.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Does that sound familiar?
It does.
They, like Nifty Q and I can't remember the other dude's name. So we chatted. I think I'm going to start being on their shows. Maybe doing a market segment, but maybe doing more just as a regular. Maybe it's the three of us just riffing daily on stuff. We'll see. But I really love being alone. Like I really do. Like I really believe in myself, and because I don't care about the views, like people do that because it helps you get more promotion, right? You promote each other's channels while you're doing your stuff. I don't care. Like, again, if nobody's watching and stuff, I'm still going to do it. So I don't know. Part of me does not want to join up just because of that, just because I have fun being like not doing stuff with anyone, but they're awesome. Like they're cool guys. So we'll see.
If I remember right, because I think I did something with them maybe back in July. Was it this year?
Yeah, right before Genkai.
Yep. Okay. So, not a funny story, but I think somebody had asked me to go on their show because I think maybe a larger studio that they do that through, and maybe it's their studio, but they said, hey, these guys, and not particularly those guys that run the show, but somebody DM'd me and said that they were fudding Kongs on one of their podcasts. And again, it might not have been that particular one. And they said, would you be willing to go on there and talk about it?
Battle.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. And they were like incredibly nice. I don't think it was those guys that were talking anything ill. And by the way, I don't care if people do or don't. I realize it's part of the space.
Yep.
Objective criticism, So yeah, really, really cool guys. I think that's a great spot for you.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
spot.
could be fun. So probably
Is
early
Katz
this
talking?
week. Katz is not. He's not on stage. He's just listening in, which is cool. He's doing the breakfast thing with the kiddos too. So
Ooh,
Katz
nice.
Katz
Very
is here,
nice.
though.
Live audience of one.
Live audience of a whole one. So when I did this last week, I did it for like 2 hours, and at some point we had 5 to 8 or so in here, which was cool. It just ramps up as it goes, like as the time goes. So people will join.
Do you have a link you can drop me? Because I'll drop it in the Kongs channel.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. I always wonder too, this is all part of the practice. It's like when I start the show and nobody's in here to start, like, which makes sense until I have an audience. Do I go right into my shtick, right? Like, do I get into the show or do I wait till people are here? Because if I get into the show at the start with nobody watching, me just talking to talk, then I redo it all when people join. I don't know if that comes across weird, especially for anyone who was in, like, watching. So I don't know. Trying to figure shit out.
Do you drop the link when it's done for people to watch, or is it just like yeah, very
dude?
cool.
Because I'm such an idiot. Like, like I'm kind of like, I'm like shy. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm bad at self-promotion. To some degree, I'm shy with the stuff. So I'm like, I do these things, and while I'm doing them, I hope nobody watches them. And I got to still get over that. I've gotten better at it, but that's like always the thing I fight. I'm like, I'll do it if it's good. People tune in and watch, and they'll tell someone, and that's stupid. You have to promote shit. Like, you have to. So
yeah.
I got to get better at that. But while you're doing that, I DM'd you a link on Discord. While you're dropping a link, man, the market this week, nobody was expecting what's happened, I don't think. All stemming from like the ETF Bitcoin speculation. Were you also shocked by things, and what do you think about where we're at and how sustainable it is? I'll say just till the end of this year, because I think we probably all think January will be decent. We'll get that January, kind of pump. But like, what do you think for right now and through the end of the year? If you got any thoughts. Oh, I bet he switched his Discord app on mobile, and he can't talk quite yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Sorry. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we go sideways for the rest of the year. Maybe a little bit of like what we've been seeing lately, where there's some price action, pumping a little bit, Bitcoin pumping a little bit. So I kind of like expect like a crawl. I still think we're a little bit off from any sort of like bull run, right? I mean, a couple years off, maybe year, 2 years.
From like the January type of that craziness?
For like the, oh my gosh, everything you touch turns into profits. Like I haven't been minting much of anything lately, but also I haven't been selling anything for quite some time.
Yep.
Because I'm just holding. I'm a hodler, sir.
You're a true collector. That's
That's really at the core of who I am. Plus, I am I'm insanely out of touch. In I don't want to say in an objective way. I think I'm out of touch. I almost feel like I've exited the arena, like the battle arena of degen trading.
Doesn't that suck?
Sometimes it does, because you're just like, you hear about things like, Forge or Particle Ink or, some of the more hyped mints that came out lately. But you're just, if you're lucky enough where I picked up a whitelist and I get a reminder, then I'll mint it. But it sucks to one degree, because there's a fun part of that. Like when I go in Idiots and I see what you guys are talking about, I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm like 100 yards away from that. But the reality is, it's kind of where, personally, it's kind of where I need to be, because I feel like I can't handle both. I can't handle degen trading and helping Kongs. It's tough to do both. So I'm like, where I need to be is just kind of executing on the Kongs roadmap. That's the important thing.
Here's where I think it really where it kind of sucks when you're so busy with the work side of it, where you're pulled out of the fun side, like the trade. Like everybody likes the trading stuff. It takes a while to get your legs back. So it's like, even when you're like, oh shit, things are popping off, let me get in, let me go like make some profits and trade and whatever. You can't just dive right back in. It doesn't work like that, because you probably have weeks or months of catching up to do to like understand why certain things are moving and then how to value certain things. It's really hard to get back in. And a lot of people working in these projects, man, they people look at them like they're probably like just the biggest whales and like succeeding everywhere. And usually it's the exact opposite. Usually they're not trading. They're just holding their bag, like you, just holding your bags, because you don't look at this stuff like you used to, like in our heyday.
Yeah, and the thing is, like we've talked about this before, the people that are in the market right now are going to be positioned for whatever the next thing is. So I still feel like that's true. It's one of the reasons, like, and you probably notice it, like when I'm like crazy busy, I'm kind of like during Genkai, I probably didn't come into Idiots much at all to talk. But I've noticed, and I think I said this to you like a week ago, I kind of need that interaction, because it's the fun part. It's not always like fun to be like, it's not always fun to be just working, because that's a lot of times what working in Web3 is it's fun, but it's work. Whereas like the idiot stuff, trading, Wall Street Kongs, that's just fun when you're just like vibing Web3, you're degenning, and so like, yes, I'm not like in the arena for when the next thing happens. You have some catch up to do, but I feel like I'm close enough that I can knock the rust off in a couple weeks.
Yep.
And the cool thing is, there's something fun about that environment, even if you're not max profiting on it. Like we see there's people who are like 12, 18 hours a day degen trading. That's never going to be me, but it's still fun to see other people that are just excited, and that overall energy that the space gets when it starts to pop off.
Yeah. Man, all of that, it resonates. Agree with it all. It's fun right now too, which is it's just nice for a change. So, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's like a little something in the air, right? Like there's like a little something in the air that feels like, it's kind of like when summer turns to fall, and you're like, oh, this is nice, man. It's a nice change.
So here's the question, and then I'm going to hit on, I think the top 10, and then get into some like a catch up of the week. Okay, so throughout the year, we get past the January, February, March, that pumpy, first quarter or so, and then we get to where things just fall off a cliff and it's dead. But usually a couple times throughout the year, you still have like a week or two where there's some action that feels very much like what's happening here, and then it just dies off again for months, right? Like, is that a pattern you're familiar with? Like you've felt that? Is that what this is here, or is this a little more real because the Bitcoin ETF stuff and because the SEC keeps losing? Like, is this different?
You know what? I don't know if it's different. Maybe it's that same pattern, just not exponentially larger because of how many people are not active right now. But I think it would be kind of foolish to think that crypto pumps don't always play into it. That overall change in emotion helps contribute to people starting to feel bullish again on things like NFTs.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if we go through that exact same pattern. I mean, just in real life, I do at my store. There's a very distinct pattern, whether it's the weather or the time of year, where people are doing well. There's just a drop off certain times of the years. And I think NFTs are probably going to be very similar like that. We're always going to kind of have that summer doldrum. And this is about the time, like in 21, I can't remember in 22, did we have a pump this time of year or was it a little bit closer to the winter, like Q1?
Okay,
like you were saying?
That's a good question. We did. We had a little pump in November, but it was after FTX stuff, and it was kind of just chaos. We had a little pump. November last year was the bottom of the NFT market. No. Let me take that back. October was the bottom. November was actually where we started trending back up. October, November trended up, and then January we rocketed. Year before
Captains.
though, this time was dead, and it just stayed dead till December, till the SOS airdrop came, and then that's what set us off then. So yeah, like I've been looking at October this month, seeing how it helps us pivot, and if it will, because the past 2 years we had both sides playing out. One where it wasn't the bottom of the market, and last year where it was. This year to me just feels different because there is a reason for it moving. It's not just, some trades happening out there that get people excited and then everyone rushes in. This year we got the trading part. We have I actually credit a lot of this to Rafiq Anadol and the Winds of Yawanawa collection. Got people so hyped for art because like MoMA brought in a piece of NFT art to their collection for the first time. And traders who bought that Winds of Yawanawa, they had big profits, like $10,000, $20,000 profits, and we hadn't seen that in a long while. So I think that got people excited about art. And in the thick of that is when the ETF, sounding like it was going to be approved like imminently. That's when that happened. So I think a perfect storm of actual tangible things. You know what I mean? Not just like a fake funny pump that just happens here and there. It felt a little more real, and now it's just, does it sustain? And it could. Like 8Fest is coming next week. You never know what they could do there. You never know if they're going to like launch maybe the other side in some type of very early beta form. You just never know with stuff like that. And then we also have the end date of Blur Season 2 farming. So do they announce Season 3, which probably would kick off some type of trading action, depending on how that goes. Oh, and in the midst of this too, we had the friend tech frenzy, like these social fi platforms. That's actually helped, just in general, keep people engaged. So at the first time they see life in NFTs, boom, they're right back. So again, perfect storm.
Don't forget meme coin too. It's going to be listed on Binance.
Right.
That what kind of liquidity event that's going to be, and I wonder if people have recalibrated to sort of the new version of gains in NFTs, where, and you've said this for years, instead of people thinking like they're going to go from a 0.08 mint to 5 ETH, that people are understanding like, okay, well, some of this isn't going to be multi-$1,000 gains on an NFT. It's going to be like a good win is hundreds.
Yes.
And average gains are in in multiples of tens. And if people are just like, okay, well, this is where we're at, and so like I'm okay trading this, and if that contributes to some of the kind of confidence in the trading market, is people just realizing like this is where it's at right now, and you'll have those outliers where it is a 100x type of event. So I wonder if people are just kind of getting used to the new meta, if you will.
Spot freaking on, dude. I think you nailed it, all of that. I'm going to drop a link for this stream. Kenza, what's up, man? Cool of you to be here. Are you a little pudgy too? Are you a pudgy penguin? By the way, speaking of pudgy penguins, I hopped in the Pixels game yesterday. I might start making a little content in that game because I love it. I love that game.
Me too.
But I jumped in and I saw you can use a pudgy penguin skin. I had no NFTs that you can switch to, so I was bummed about that. But got me thinking of pudgy penguins.
Soon your Kong, sir. Soon your Kong.
Is that out there? Is that a thing that people know?
Not really. I've mentioned it on Spaces that we've been talking with Luke. Obviously, them going to Ronin, us being on Ronin, it makes sense. We're just making sure that it's that it's purposeful. But the nice thing is that we have all of the unique sprites for gens and babies, and I think we're going to get there with Genkai and BX.
How far do you think that is?
Well, actually, I have a call with them on Monday. So the cool thing is, and one of the reasons like I'm crazy bullish on Pixels and just the team overall, is that they spent a lot of time developing their tools where they can literally spin things up really quick, where like a lot of other games, when you're getting into the dev side of things and integrating collections, it's a long process. They can spin up like a Kong's area Kong's quests integrate in our pixels within like a matter of weeks. So um, timing wise, my guess would be, because we have a big thing, I would kind of hope for like a Q1 type of launch.
Not bad. Oh, that's cool. Not bad. They might line up with well, I know they've got a token coming, the pixels, and they got pets coming. Might line up perfectly with them, like really starting to ramp up too. So that'd be cool. I'm looking forward to that then, man. I love the look of the game. I think the baby sprites would look perfect in there. Oh man, hey, if they or you or whoever needs somebody like beta testing that, like running around as a Kong dude, let me know, please.
I saw for the first time the other day one of our sprites running around in there. They were showing it.
Oh no shit!
And they look really cool. Yeah.
Would they ever be?
Yeah,
would they ever do that? Like, is it possible they would want somebody, using it like in a way of promotion, but just to see how it looks like in all the different areas of the game, like volunteering?
I don't know who does their testing. I mean, I'm talking to them beginning of the week, so I will certainly ask them.
Okay. Hey Kenzo, do I know you from somewhere? Like sometimes I'm talking to people and they're part of my idiots group, or I know them from somewhere and it's just the name on YouTube's different. Kenzo's asking what I'm bullish on, but like there's plenty, like just bullish on plenty. Number one, of course, right now, like peak bullish FOMO, whatever, is Opepin. They announced, I think it was officially announced yesterday that they're collabing with Snowfro. They got a new Snowfro Opepin set live now. As far as if you have an unrevealed Opepin, you can opt in. Katz and I were talking about this at the start. That 1/1 from that set probably going to go for 10 ETH. The rest of them, I mean, they'll have a 1 ETH floor for sure, regardless of what edition. They got the 40 edition, the 20 edition, a 5, a 4, and then that 1/1. Ah, cool. Well, good to meet you, Kenzo. I do this daily show. You may know. I don't know. You might be subscribed. I'm not sure how you found your way here, but I do a daily 5-minute, NFT market and NFT happenings video just to keep people updated on the space in like literally a few minutes. You don't got to sit through an hour space, even though there's tons of great ones. 5 minutes, you're all caught up, 7 days a week. Saturdays now, though, it's a live show in the morning. It buys me a little time to sleep in finally. Like I get up at 4 a.m. for these, but I don't know. I've wanted to do a live show. It made sense. So Saturdays here live. All right, I'm going to hit on the top 10 collections here. Gives us stuff to talk about, but then I'm going to touch on kind of a roundup of the past week, a review, because it was aside from the market, there was really cool stuff happening. So with that said, top 10 collections, it is the Bored Apes at the top, I guess. You know what? You would assume that, but they're often not at number 1 lately. It's usually, the number 2 project today, it's D-Market. D-Market has typically been number 1. These guys, and if anyone who doesn't know, it's Counter-Strike gaming skins. So yeah, I mean, like people don't realize a lot of like really, really big name games, they have NFTs traded, or they have gaming skins traded as NFTs. Just a taste of the future here, because I think that stuff is going to be way, way bigger than it is right now. So anyway, D-Market was at 2. Mutant Ape Yacht Club is 3. Then DraftKings, the Captains, and of course, because they're meme coin. CryptoPunks at number 6. Pudgy Penguins, Sorare, D-Gods. I don't know at number 10, this is called Voting Token something. I don't know what that is. I don't think that's really an NFT. Voting Token Vesting. So because we crawl the blockchain and anything on chain, if it's an ERC 721 or 1155, it shows up on site, but it may not be a traditional NFT. It could be like a DeFi position, and we remove those. We don't count them like a traditional NFT. So that one I'm going to look into. I guess that would put Azuki at the true number 10. And Opepin's right behind it, actually. So, yeah. Going to peek here at what is it called? Friendtech. Because, like, a lot of action had left NFTs, right? And it went to Friendtech for a while. People buying and selling those keys. And people were making, like, honestly, really, really decent profits there on fees. It fell off a cliff. Like it's dead almost. So, starting back early October, first off, there were some security concerns there. Like OX quit. He tweeted out that, hey, if you use SMS for login, like get it off of there now, because there's all kinds of like SIM swap vulnerabilities. And they never recovered since there. So fell off a cliff. Then when the Blur Season 2 end date was announced, that's what really killed it. Nobody came back. They came right back to wash trades. Yesterday, though, on Friendtech, Henry, I'm curious if you've touched that still yet, but Friendtech not even crossing $1 million in trade volume, in sales volume, I should say. I don't know if Friendtech is dead, but something changed, and they have competition like Stars Arena, New Bitcoin City. There's other SoFi platforms. People are right back to NFT trading. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of Friendtech in particular. I think we're at the point now where people are like, well, what are they really offering? You know, there was the
Thank
trading
you.
and the gains you could get there for a little bit, but beyond that, is there anything of substance? I don't think there really is.
No, I don't think there is. I've noticed a big a drop off in any sort of communication about Friendtech in Discord chat, because I think at the end of the day, people were farming it thinking this was going to be like the next Blur season 1, and I think people, I just think the substance behind it was just kind of garbage. At least Blur as a marketplace, right?
Right.
Whereas Friendtech, people are like, well, yeah, you get token gated access to somebody's content, basically. And I just think it was. I like the idea of SoFi, even though I don't fully understand where it could go. Like, I'd love to see like a really cool concept of it, but I think at the end of the day, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're the Friendtech, like, okay, your keys, to your image.
Henry, I'm gonna have you say
Is
all
that-
that again in a second because you're
Is that
cutting
your
out.
understanding?
Is anyone who doesn't Discord? All right, cool, Cats. Oh yeah, dude, Cats. Let me invite you up. Oh, and Kim may join here too. Hang on. So, Henry, are you there? So Henry's my little brother, and we talk all the time. But in the morning on his commute, he hits a dead zone, and this is just what happens.
I hit it.
You hit it. Is it that exact spot?
It's that spot, and so I probably have a handful of minutes. I can shut up while you're doing your thing. I don't know how laggy I am right now.
It was bad there. It's fine now. But your whole thing about Friendtech cut out. Kim may come up too. I'm trying to get her to come chat, but Katz is coming up here.
I was just saying that I've noticed a big drop off in Friendtech, and I think that different from Blur, where at least they have a marketplace that kind of backs everything. I think the Ponzonomics of it were like a little bit unclear. So like,
Yep.
If I own your keys, I can see your content, but I can't chat within your chat room, let's say, with anybody else that owns your keys. Is that your understanding of it too?
Well, so I use it, and so like you get access to content. I would like I'll do air quotes because the content is just you get access to my DM, my group chat. You chat with anybody who holds my keys. We're just in a group chat together, and that's all it is. So I get it for celebrities and influencers, and like let me be clear too. I think social finance is the future of social media. I very much think that Twitter or X to some degree is going to move into that model. I think it just makes sense to monetize everything. I mean, it's kind of what NFTs are doing, and crypto. This is the evolution of these social platforms. But I just don't think they're offering enough yet. It's just the chat. And if you're a nobody, it doesn't matter. I'm a nobody in this thing, so my key shouldn't be valuable. But this is what's funny about it. I know how people trade. I know for sure I could pump my key price by just getting active and talking and saying, hey, I'm about to do this and this and this for my holders. Your key price will shoot right up and you make a bunch of money. Like, it's a game right now.
So I was getting a lot of, I was getting like regular DMs from people saying, why aren't you on Friendtech? And it was kind of for that reason. Like, I just want to stay away from all of stuff. Twitter has subscriptions already, so I think you're right that monetizing content makes a lot of sense. I just don't know on a platform like Friendtech why that's the place.
Yep. Just picture it. That's another right place, right time. Like launching on Base right when Base launched, and it's being early to something is always the best time to get into it. So there is something to Friendtech that now people are building platforms on top of it, trading platforms and kind of other apps you can I guess plug into it. So I think Friendtech if they have competent enough devs and marketing and all that, they could be something. And if you got in early to something that, is going to be big, of course, that's the best case scenario. So I haven't written them off because of that, because I see at least people are interested and a lot of money's traded through there. Now the ball's in their court to actually deliver something, a little more real. They could do it.
I think meme will be the one potentially to crack some of the SoFi, crack the code for it.
Very much because of the culture thing, man, right?
Culture, Ray's got ridiculous connections, obviously, and they certainly have the financial backing.
Yeah.
And that's been the direction that they've been talking about going since the beginning. So it's something that they've been working on. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but it just makes sense. And they're in a massive market. I mean, based in Hong Kong. I mean, they're in a massive market in that Asian market. So, yeah, no, I guess maybe it's not fair to write it off completely. I just hate this. What feels like just the scammy, pumpy stuff. It never resonates with me.
Yeah, that part's.
But maybe it's
icky.
not. Maybe it's not.
I mean, it is. It's icky, but it's.
Also,
just,
I didn't like that it took people out of Discord. It sucked everybody out of Discord because everybody.
Well, funny enough, man, you
tech.
remember. Yeah, but so remember early on, and I've always said this. I've always said we got to move out of Discord. Like the NFT space has to move out of Discord. It's scammy stuff has gotten a little more under control there, but it just doesn't feel like where this belongs. I think this belongs on everybody's unique platform. Like whatever that is though. Like if you're a gaming company or whatever, I think all the chat really belongs in the game somehow, some way. Discord, I just think, is the only tool that was available for people to, like, this number of people to chat live. But something's always felt wrong about Discord or the space living there. So if it's friend tech, I guess in a way that's the same thing. I don't think that's the end all be all too. There's something else. Actually, I was going to tie this into something I was going or am going to be talking about. It's a new Web3 operating system. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know what it would be that ties into this. I just know that the Discord thing is not how this finishes or how it stays. Cat, I'm trying to get cats on here. Hang on, let's see. Okay, sorry. I'm just DMing him in another place. Okay, so then let's do some top stories this week, I guess, like kind of the biggest happenings. I think other than the market, which was obviously the biggest happening. Hang on. Cats. Oh shit, Cats, my bad, man. I sent him a link just to the YouTube channel. Hang on, buddy. Sorry about that, man. Ryder Rips. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So to me, biggest story of the week, maybe other than like SBF, taking the stand and at his trial. Ryder Rips having to pay Yuga Labs $1.5 million for the trademark infringement, even though Yuga Labs doesn't own their trademark. I think that's all fascinating because we talk everything about what's going on here has been about IP and ownership and whatnot. And I think people are learning a pretty interesting lesson here about NFTs and ownership. So Ryder Rips, again, he has to pay $1.5 million. He needs to give the contract for the Ryder Rip Bored Apes over to Yuga Labs. Don't know what they'll do with it, but it's where we're at. What do you think?
I was so when I was reading about this, because he has to give the contract over, he has to give the website, basically everything related to it, he has to turn over to Yuga. I guess not completely surprising because I think like our idea of what decentralized means, our idea of what ownership of the IP means is I think just rooted in the WAGMI vibes versus rooted in actual like legal foundations. So, I mean, this is the U.S. court's take on it. I think it kind of goes against, like, I remember when this all started, you were like, yeah, but it's cool that he was able to, like, I'm paraphrasing. It's cool that he was able to flip the image, and it's not necessarily copyright infringement. Although I don't remember you saying exactly that, but I think that was kind of the vibe of it.
Yeah.
But I think the U.S. courts don't really. I don't want to say they don't fully understand all of this. I don't know that they do, and I don't know that everything in the digital realm is like if the current laws are completely caught up on decentralized organizations, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think we see that on the regulatory side as well. So it not surprising at all to me, I guess, that they won. I just wonder if 10 years from now, if that would win on the exact same premises.
Yeah. So here's where I think it gets a little more interesting is that nothing's happened to CryptoFunks, which it's same thing in a way. That's the one that truly is just the flipped image. So did the Ryder Rips one get this attention and get sued because they were putting out all those videos claiming that Bored Apes were racist or the team is racist? You know what I mean? If they didn't do that, would these have been fine? And I don't know, because I wonder, are the Funks, do they fall under the same category? Is that trademark infringement, or was flipping enough? And does that get us more directly to that question of, is the token all that matters? Like the actual data, the actual NFT, not the art associated with it. And did Ryder Rips Bored Apes, do they take a fall again because they were shitty? They were shitting on the Bored Apes. You know what I mean? So I wonder if this really did answer the question, or if it's just if it was just low-hanging fruit.
Okay, so obviously I know we're not legal experts, but I feel like that would be more on the defamation side, wouldn't it? If it was just about them talking about Bored Apes being Nazis.
Yeah, that's true. So let me think if I can present this a little different, because I think I didn't say it the way I meant. I think they didn't focus. I don't think they focused enough on the token aspect. I'm sure they considered it, right? Like their argument. Well, okay, their main argument was Yuga Labs doesn't own the trademark. That was what everything was based on, which they don't. But did they really spend time saying that these aren't copies because of, right? And then get into the NFT tech stuff? Or was it all about trademark stuff and again, driven by the fact that they were so shitty? I don't know.
But guess, you know what? I don't know that you have to trademark the art in order, again, limited knowledge on it, but just from talking with our legal team, I don't know if you have to trademark the art in order. In fact, I'm pretty sure you don't have to trademark the art in order for you to be the owner of the IP. So
that was the ruling. That was actually exactly how it played out. The judge said they don't have to. Them putting it out and then using it, like building around it to the degree they have, that's enough. So I learned that.
So, so like as I understand it, so we've had trademark claims. There's people who do like trademark squatting, and we've had that done primarily like in China, where they take your trademarks and they try to file the trademarks before you do, and then they just basically hold them like ransom. Like, if you want this trademark, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And our attorneys have been, and we were fighting them for a little bit. And our attorneys were kind of like, yeah, but them like sitting on your trademark right now doesn't really matter because you own the IP. Whoever creates it is the owner of the IP. So that part doesn't really matter. So I guess this kind of holds up to that theory.
That's cool. That's good to know. Like just like on a personal note, me wanting to do stuff with my brand and not having trademarked nothing, and being worried about not getting it in all the countries. So as long as you're building around it, that can kind of cover you. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. There might be there's definitely a difference between the trademark versus ownership of the IP.
Yeah, interesting.
Rich, you still hear me tonight? Cut out.
It cut out a little. I got you, though. Hey, boss. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the shit show, sir. Cats, how are you, too?
Yeah, boss.
Good. Finally made it up here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. I'm moving a little too fast. I don't think it's our boss. I don't think it's Boss Floss. Dude, I haven't seen Boss. He's popped in once or twice in the past year. We've got so many guys. You know what? We got so many guys who are still kind of around and active, but disengaged at the same time. But Boss is a good example of that.
Him and Mikey. What happened to Mikey?
Frickin' Mikey. Yeah, dude. It's been like 2 months since we've seen him. I've seen him on Twitter here and there just liking some stuff, but man, real life, and with the market being what it is, like it is the time to get away. It's the time to go live your life a little bit more at this point. So makes sense.
Fair enough.
So
on the side of the, just going back real quick, I mean, those good stuff on IP and trademark. But as far as art versus the token, like what you were just talking about, I still think we're just blockchain nerds who that matters to us. But the general public, are they going to know if that Bored Ape is from the BAYC or from Ryder Rips? Like, I mean, I think we're such a small space. Like, obviously the actual collection on the blockchain matters to us, but I don't know how big scale that matters. I don't know.
Yeah.
As far as the art
true.
versus the token argument.
Yeah, you're 100% right. So then it's a matter of, is it just too early where it's too hard for people to know the difference? And once you can tell the difference really at a glance, to build out this future that we all thought, maybe still think is possible that NFTs are going to bring, well, you need the UX, I guess, to be able to really make that happen. And with that UX upgrading, right, that's what's going to let you see the difference between these tokens at a glance. So because we can't, does that mean that like our thoughts about NFTs all being unique, all being, distinguishable from another, does that even hold water now because it's so hard to see the difference? That might be, like, it might be. In the future, though, if the argument is still the same, that even with unique tokens, the same art being attached to the token makes it, infringement, I don't love that. Like, that changes everything I bought into years ago about what I thought NFTs would lead to, how it would, like, reshape everything. So, so while I said this case answered a lot of questions about what NFTs are and what they're not, maybe it didn't yet. Again, maybe with a buffed UX, maybe that changes the story again. I just think that they fucked themselves by being so aggressive against Bored Apes, and they could just apply like current laws to everything here.
I'm surprised they didn't ask for a change of the image, like change the metadata.
They can't. I think they can't because it points to the same place on IPFS that the Bored Apes images are stored at.
I see.
And that's what V1 punks. It's the same with them. So I think, and I'm not definitely not an expert with this, and I wonder if this could happen. I think the only way to get around that would be for Yuga Labs to update every NFT, if that's even possible, point it to a new IPFS pin, like a new image. They just take copies of the images, they pin it in a different location on IPFS, and they update every NFT to point to that new location. I don't know if that's possible once things are minted. I don't know, but I think that's the only way they can get around it, which is funny. To me, that makes it really interesting. But in a way, I feel like Carlenia said this, but NFTs are just like a file explorer. Because like the image is not on the NFT, the NFT is just pointing you to where the image lives. So it's just, in a way, your NFT is like a browser pointing at something.
Yeah, that was why I think we did the on-chain Kongs, to actually put all of the images on chain. Also, that was the whole thing with Pranksy's NFT boxes. Weren't all of the images there on chain?
No, I think those are IPFS as well.
Yeah,
okay. On chain is so expensive. There's no way they're on chain. Like very little's actually on chain. Like cyber brokers are, Avastars are, CryptoPunks are, but very little is actually on chain. And usually it's going to be an SVG file. It's like code, not the actual like JPEG itself. So now Bitcoin is different. Those images are on chain, but they're tiny, and that's kind of how they get around it in a way. By the way, I think that might actually be Boss. I'm asking in the chat here, like our boss, because he said good to listen to all you idiots. So it's got to be our boss.
Boss 1320.
His name in here is it's G Le Boss.
Because we had two bosses. We had the veteran boss, and then there was Boss Floss, right?
Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. It's been so long. I was picturing them being the same too.
No, we had two. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm waiting for him to reply here. So 8 Fest is coming up in a week. I think it's a week from today.
Yep. Why did I think it started like Wednesday or Thursday? Maybe it's side events, but yeah,
I thought it was
November. No, you think you're right.
Or 2nd. Okay. Yeah. So
second.
Yeah, does that keep some hype going, man? I mean, they're right place, right time kind of thing too, right? We've got all this action and energy in the space. It's taking place in Hong Kong. Um, you know, could get spicy if they announce something. And like I said early on, maybe they release a little open beta for the other side. That would be huge. Now, Moisty had said early on that he thought that would happen because they were teasing that, hey, if you can't make the trip to Hong Kong, you still can come to Ape Fest. And I don't know how the hell you can do that other than if you're in a metaverse, like in the other side. So, like, part of me is holding out hope that happens, although I think they would have to be announcing that, like, now. I don't think that's like you drop it on the day of and say, by the way, like, I don't think it can work that way, but you never know.
It's
the
a meetup
tech
in
is ready, by the way.
Decentraland.
Yeah,
Or Crypto Box.
Decentraland. Yeah. Oh, it's Gerard. Cool. Good shit, man. Yeah, good to see. Dude, Gerard, if you want to come up too, you're welcome to. Like, this is officially an idiot's party. Yeah, those other ones just don't do well. But okay, so I say that tech is ready because, well, there's been the 2 other side trips. I forget if that's the exact name, but twice they've let people in, tens of thousands of people in a single instance. I'm still so blown away by the tech, like as a gamer especially, like blown away by the tech. This week coming up, though, let's see if I can find it here. The Forgotten Runes have a big metaverse event. I don't know if you've seen this here. Check this. I'm sure you're not looking at the screen, but they have an event coming called, waiting for it to be, Nightmare Run. There it is. Okay. This is actually powered by the same tech that powers the other side. This is that M squared, metaverse tool. So something I talk about a lot, man, I don't know that other side is going to be the metaverse. If they are, dude, I don't know. I was about to try to make an argument for them. I don't know if I can. They're going to be the metaverse for apes, but M squared now has these tools that anyone, literally anyone, you guys as Kongs, anyone, you can, purchase. I don't know if you buy a license or what, but at a click of a button, you spin up your own instance of their metaverse. And the same thing applies as far as you can have 100,000 people in that instance. And so, of course, you got to do the work and build it and put in the assets and all that stuff to make it something. But I imagine if you get your own copy of it, it's a blank template, and in an open room, you can have those tens of thousands of people still hanging out. So point there is they're using that tech and they're about to show it off this week in this party that like everybody is invited to. It's going to steal a little thunder, I think, from the other side. So if they don't launch this week, people are going to get a really, really huge look at what others are going to be able to do with that tech, and it's pretty freaking impressive stuff. Anyway, that's on the 31st. I am almost definitely going to be there. Smack in the middle of the day is like in a good way. It's at like 3 or 4 p.m. for me. So I'm going to be there, and it is getting pretty darn good promo. I think it's going to be busy, and I think it's going to put a lot of attention, not on the Forgotten Runes necessarily, but on M squared. They are, man, if there's a way to invest in them, I would. Like, they've partnered with Major League Baseball. They put some big, yeah, they do. They had some stadiums that, again, tens of thousands of people were able to join. To me, they are the key to the metaverse. It's not Yuga Labs' other side. As much as I'm rooting for them and I think it looks cool, M squared they're the ones. Wild stuff. I don't know if you see this video.
Yeah, I'm peeking at it.
Just seeing so many people all in the same spot. I mean, that could really never be done before.
Yeah, imagine what that could they integrate games into it, like collaborative games?
Oh, dude, yes. I mean, so I think they've actually taken their avatars from their community and they've actually made them into, I don't know if they're voxels here, but they made them into assets here. So like, I think all kinds of communities will have their avatars in these worlds. They'll build games into it, all of it. Again, it's like Sandbox. You get the land or you get an instance. It's on you to build whatever you want with it. Yuga Labs building a giant RPG into it, like one of those big MMOs. So it's all on the builders and what they want to do with it, but their tools are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's yeah.
I need to get a better computer.
You really do, man. It's been a couple years.
I know. No, I need something that can like run the Sandbox, something that can run like other side, because mine's so laggy. I need something good.
Yeah, it's getting to be time too where I think where we thought like a year ago was going to be the time that we're all going to be hanging, I think it's much closer to now or in the next 6 months here. I got on screen here, to me, I think this looks like a concert, but 20,000 people are in this instance here that they're showing, and everybody's throwing up emotes and stuff. And so in my video earlier this week, I said, just picture concerts here, which we did with the Crypto Bats. We did that little Aussie performance. But man, do something like that with 20,000 people. Again, 100,000 people it can support. If the real world catches on to this,
wow.
Again, game changer for music. Like, I don't like going to concerts anymore. I would go to this. I'd love to see King Gizzard in an online performance. So I guess tying it back to Decentraland, when Bjork performed, the entire environment around us, like, it morphed. Like, the ground and the grass was waves, and there was shit all over you. You know, turn your character around, and there's stuff animated behind you that's alive. There's stuff to your left, to your right. If you look up, things are happening. People will really, really love this. And ultimately, the Travis Scott Fortnite event is what showed me that like, normies, they'll love it. People love that performance. And that woke me up to the fact that people will go to these online concerts. It's not I think they will. Like, it's not a maybe thing. They, like, 1,000% will. It's just, man,
I mean, look at Taylor Swift, right? Like, so like she had a sold out US tour, then went into the movie theaters.
Yes.
Lucy went to see her Eras tour in the movies.
Nice.
And I remember thinking, like, you're going to the movies to watch a concert. Like, to me, I always picture like the concert experience is like going to see it live.
We did that last weekend. It was awesome. Dude, it was awesome. Yeah. It was so loud. It felt enough like you're in a concert, but I got more energy from the Bjork online performance and from the Travis Scott one. Both of those pre-recorded too. It's like, if you take Taylor Swift and put her in here, dude, yes, she would have 1 million people. She would have more than 1 million people in an instance if it could support it. And that would be the game-changing moment right there. And that's just a matter of time, because like on the Meta, right, their VR headset, they've had Foo Fighter concerts. They've had, the biggest bands in the world have done these performances that kind of like the Taylor thing. They do it as a movie. You put on the headset, you watch a pre-recorded show, and all you get to do is like change the angle you're looking at it from. But it's like static still, right? Those guys who've already now touched that side of the online concert world, they're going to try this when this is ready for them. Like that, again, that's not an if or a maybe or whatever. That's literally just a when. That's a matter of time for that to happen. This shit will blow up when one of those bands of that size hops in a metaverse concert, dude. This will blow up. And then that funnels people into NFTs, because even if there's no NFTs associated with those concerts, it's touching so closely the same walls we are. Oh, I cannot wait, man.
Totally agree.
I cannot wait.
And it's all EV plus for them, right? They record once. It's like being able to sell a movie ticket to somebody in their house.
Okay, that's the best point. Because if people might ask why would they want to do it? That's the reason. Because it's almost no lift. It's almost no effort for them to do it, other than the first time. Record it, put it in there, boom, done. If they got to do an avatar like we did with Aussie, you got a little expense up front, but there's companies that build it for you. They can just say, hey, this concert, make avatars, try to recreate that live show that we already did. Just go make it into a digital kind of form and stick it in this, M squared, metaverse thing. Done. That's it. Yep. And they'll make millions and millions of dollars. Like, dude, hundreds of millions from that. If Taylor Swift did something in here, we wouldn't stop hearing about it.
Yeah. All of our kids would be like, I got to get in. I got to get in. How do I get a ticket?
Yep. And now, okay. And then just kind of wrapping it up, the Vision Pro. So, like, let's say next year or the year after, that's what ties it all together. Get people in these concert experiences in a lightweight, like very comfortable, high quality headset. That's where this becomes what it's supposed to be. That's when it reaches its final form. Those animations around the Bjork thing, you see those going on all around you, and you feel like you're like really there. It's all coming, dude. All the stuff we dreamed of, it's all coming, and it's closer than ever at this point.
Yep. No, totally agree, man. Totally agree. That's actually really cool to see that there's somebody else that's got another big event happening in the. It goes M2 or M squared.
M squared. Yeah, M Squared is like the tech. Their parent company is called Improbable. Again, I don't know if they got stock you can buy. Man, if they do, if they've got a publicly traded stock or any way to invest, I can't think of something that would be smarter to get into. As somebody who doesn't know shit about that world, it's just I know shit about feeling things, at the right time, and definitely have felt it with them.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's Wednesday, Tuesday.
31st. I think that's Wednesday. Oh, no, that is Tuesday. Thank you. Yeah, Tuesday. I might have missed that. Yeah, so Tuesday, like 4 or 5 p.m. Again, I'm going to go. You know what? Honestly, simply to run around in that environment. Nothing to do with even the event or the Forgotten Runes. I want to run around in an M squared, environment. Okay, now, because that's ready to roll, right? Because they have an experience, that maybe gives a little more hope that maybe Yuga Labs' other side could possibly come out this week. Imagine that if 2 major events drop in the same week that are NFT kind of touching. That would be cool, and that could get people a little hyped. A little hyped that the tech is a little further along, but closer to coming out than maybe people realized. God.
Well, was Forgotten Runes working on theirs before other side was?
So I don't think theirs is even a world. I don't think theirs is like a persistent, hey, this is our metaverse. I think it's using it like M squared intended. Pop up an instance for an event and then afterwards throw it away. I think it's just like that. Yeah, I don't think they care, afterwards. Maybe they keep the space and they can build their next event, their next activation or whatever. But it's not going to be this online, always there world to like be doing stuff, 24/7. Just think it's for the event. And again, that's why I don't think other side becomes as big as people were maybe thinking, because just pop them up when you need them and then toss it away when you're done. You don't need to maintain it like a persistent world. They do because they got a game. But anyone else, man, just pop it up. Pop it up for a Halloween event. Pop it up for Christmas. Pop it up for whatever.
I wonder what it costs. Like to do.
Dude, you guys should reach out to them.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea.
Picture in the frenzy, in the thick of things. If the tech existed, a year and a half ago, when we did the breeding party with Penelope's, picture that party being in an event like this and raining down 40,000 bananas. Like, imagine that. But in a world like, it's gonna get fun.
Yeah, it's not laggy like when you've played in the other side events. Like, it's not laggy like how sometimes Decentraland gets.
No, dude, it's flawless. That's what really blows me away. Flawless. Rajan, are you still here, dude? I just saw your comment. Reply back if you're actually still in this chat. He said thoughts on Snowfro's drop this week. 5 blue chip artists to look out in the boy. I got an answer for all that. If you're still here, I'm definitely going to answer that.
Ooh, that'd be cool if is Xcopy confirmed, or is this just speculation?
Oh, I think his was just a general question. You're here. Okay, good shit. All right, let me see. Snowfro's dropped this week. You're talking about the Opepin thing, right? So the thought is, hopefully you have an unrevealed Opepin already. If not, you're probably buying the top. But if you land one of these, even the 40 edition, I imagine that's going to be at the very least a 1 ETH floor. Just going by how the rest of the sets have traded. That 1/1 though is probably like almost definitely going to be a 10 plus ETH piece. The other drop. What is his other drop? I didn't know Snowfro has another drop this week.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about that.
Dude, it's actually already out, completely minted. So dropped last week. Dutch auction fell to 0.3 ETH. But that's minted out. 2,000 editions, it's over.
Yeah, 2K. Okay, that was what I was thinking.
And here's the deal. I was actually checking this out. I was wondering if I misunderstood and that there's more to be minted, but I'm pretty sure it's over. So, like, the pass holders, the Velocity pass holders got it free. They got an airdrop. And, dude, okay, now I'm walking that back. That might be wrong. I know some people got an airdrop of it. They get it free from holding something. But then there was that sale, the Dutch auction, 0.3 ETH. But I'm pretty sure it's over with. I just bought one yesterday on secondary because... I mean, look, this is kind of simple. No, it's not on the Art Blocks platform, and no, it doesn't have the significance of a Chromie Squiggle, which is his signature, but Snowfro's only other collections are the friendship bracelets, which there's tens of that, like 40,000 edition, NFT collection, I think. And more recently, he has the Heart and Craft collection on Arbitrum, which is an open edition. It's still, you can mint them. So he only has a 10K collection then? and now a 2K collection. So the 10K collection, the Squiggles, they're 10th floor. Now you've got a 2K edition collection that's very similar in vibe to Squiggles, and the floor is like 0.55. Makes zero sense. Zero. It doesn't make sense, and there's like, I don't make alpha calls. I just make obvious calls, okay? To me, it's obvious that a Snowfro 2K edition collection in the vibe of his art that people love makes no sense at 0.55. None. And there's some really good deals. I've been hunting through those for days now, looking for, you know, a grail or something underpriced. There's a lot. There's a lot out there still. Like, I'm going to pop it up just so you can see stuff I've been looking at, because that collection, again,
The floor is 0.55.
Yeah, I'm going to check. If I had it, I would buy another for sure. For sure. Like, no question. If I had half an ETH right now, I would be buying more. 2000 edition collection for a Snowfro that, like, I'm going to use it as my signature. Just like the Squiggles, even though he's not said that's their purpose. You do whatever you want with them. And with everyone being unique, I think it just makes sense. Yeah, Snowfro's top 5 just because of his significance. Like, you know, top 5 is really X-Copy, Beeple. Rafiq is now top 5 for sure, right? But other than that, I think, like, Pac is out of the top 5. Hackatow's not top 5 anymore. I think Snowfro's the top 5. Jack Butcher, maybe that's the top 5 there. Jack Butcher and Snowfro there. Oh, sweet, dude. Which one did you get? Drop a link if you can, or if you want to. Moisty, bro. What's good, man?
I'm going to grab one today.
Dude, I think it'd be really, really smart. Even if they fall a little, they minted at 0.3, right? So they're not even 2x above mint for a 2K Snowfro. It's just silly. These also, they come with like an embroiderable pattern, so you can put this on a hat or something, which I think looks cool. They're just neat, but I just think people sometimes, they look at it, something doesn't click. Like, just, I think the significance of it just doesn't register, and I think people are going to be kicking themselves over this one at some point. Like, I don't know that they go ballistic. I don't know that they get anywhere near even 5 ETH, but these will be 1 to 2 ETH for sure. Like, I cannot fathom why they wouldn't be in a bull run when people have liquidity. That for sure. But really potential for it to hit that before.
But aren't there just certain things, exactly to your point, that just make sense? Because when, you know, when you're zoomed in right now, it's like, okay, well, they're only 2x floor, but like you zoom out 10 years from now, when you look at the OG artists of the space, even things like a lot of money, which nobody talks about anymore. Won't these things be viewed at completely different than they are right now? Like, oh, this is, it's, I say it's almost like owning a Picasso. Like, these are these are the foundational artists of something that we think is going to be massive.
Snowfro in particular. Yeah, a lot of these guys know. Even some of the biggest names we talk about today know. But Snowfro, yes, because he's the guy driving generative art to the history books. It's him. Like the Goose, right? That ringer that sold for over $6 million at Sotheby's over the summer. Well, that came out on Snowfro's platform. The most expensive generative art pieces all funneled through him. He's the guy. So you get a chance to touch a guy like that who he's both the guy driving it, but he's also an artist. You get a chance to grab something of his with just the 2000 editions. It's it's just too obvious. And yeah, he will be a guy forever. Just because of what he's done in the business world. Now partnering with, dude, friggin' Red Bull and all these other business deals he's got coming up because of the Artblocks Engine stuff. Sotheby's, their generative art platform is using Artblocks Engine. This guy is driving generative art to every corner of the world at this point, and he's just a really significant dude. Rajan, did you know you can toggle these to have a black background? I caught onto this late, but black background, and you can like animate them in a way. And Gerard, I'm going to show you what to look for, because I was definitely I've got it very, very like zeroed in on the good stuff. I didn't get one that's actually even rare. I just got one that happened to. I'll show you. I got a very nice one that has like a good, like, it has almost all the primary colors if I'm right about that. But I didn't see any that were laid out this cleanly like here. I went for a white border because it looks so good on the black background. And mine's got green, light blue, blue, yellow, red. If there's others that are this clean, there's not many. Okay. So I think you're looking for maybe less of the randomness and you're looking for a nice run on the spectrum. So like kind of the flow of it. So the rarest though, yeah, Rajan, if you hit the space bar on the piece, it's going to switch to black. And if you hit F, it's going to like kind of make it glitch. You can hit, I think, N to turn noise on and off, a little like staticky effect.
What's that yellow one?
Oh, let me go back there. That
Like,
one right
I'm just
here?
curious. Yeah.
Super cool, right? I think that's got a navy outline, all yellow. I can't remember the ones that lean right. I can't remember. I think that's like DBS is like the layout kind of DRS. That's the type. That's a really cool one too. Does a little less flashy, but that's a really, really clean looking one. Yeah, I really like that one.
What is that? Like, I can't see the price on that.
0.62. So
That's not
pretty
crazy.
close to the floor. So, okay. As far as rarest combination, okay, grid is the rarest like kind of style for like how the colors populate inside the bars. So you might want to go grid. And then the color style. These two right here, hyper single and hyper all, I've been throwing I was throwing 0.95 ETH bids or on those, hoping somebody would take it. I think it's possible you could do that. Those look really cool where the single has the first bar that's like very rainbow colored. The hyper all is the most desired one. There's no grid hyper all where the whole thing is that hyper rainbow. Those are selling for multiple ETH. You could throw bids at some of them, and some, like at least one of these people here doesn't realize that's the most desirable thing. So somebody here is going to accept a lowball bid for sure. It just always happens. Now, aside from those two color traits, if you want just like kind of the I think most desirable combination, it is grid. And I think the white border style, because if you can switch the background to black, white is the only one that stands out. Like, in the way that it does. Like the navy doesn't really stand out the same. Okay, now here's the main thing I'm looking for to go with that. It is actually, this one is really cool. I threw bids at this two color split.
Ooh, I like that.
So this one's cool. This is grid, white background. Look at that when it animates too, how cool that looks. Like that one I think is really awesome. I was throwing, I think I got up to like 0.8. Yeah, I did a 0.8 offer on that. But let me get rid of color split, and I'm going to show you what I think is the one to go for. That's not the rarest, but it's every collection has like a secret rarest combo. The one that people are going to be hunting down the road. White background, grid, and it is short gradient and long gradient. Look at this one. These two right here. This one I think is a secret grail in the collection. And I messaged her seeing if she'd sell it, and then I realized she had just bought it. But like that is friggin' incredible. It looks like the hyper ones, except it's not. And I think that's like the secret kind of desirable thing. Something that looks like those hyper colored ones, but that it's not. It just happens to be a perfect like layout of those colors. And then long gradient has the same effect. There's another one here. You know what? That might have been it. That might be the one. So again, white. I think white background, grid, and the what's it called? The gradient color style. Here, I'm going to check one other thing here. I'm going to go just white background and long gradient and not the grid pattern. I'm going to throw short in here too. Man, they're so good looking. You know what? If it shows up in here, I'm going to show another that really stood out to me. You can see how the color layout, they're kind of random in some of them. Some of them, the colors are almost all like completely lined up though. And I think that's desirable too. And hopefully I can find it.
So Rajan mentioned curio cards. I haven't heard curio cards in forever.
Yeah, you know what? Let me chat about that. So like, okay, this one right here, I think this is the one I saw yesterday. If not, there's one very similar where the colors across each of those like kind of triangle things.
Ooh.
It's like lined up across. So something
know,
like that. Now the one I saw, I think the yellow was right down the middle of the arrow, and it just looked super sharp.
I've been looking. Yeah, I told you, like, I haven't minted anything. I haven't been buying anything because I just don't want to buy crap right now. I'd rather buy like things that, you know, I like to collect. I was thinking, well, do I want to buy maybe like a guzzler, just, you know, maybe an X copy or two, because like now's the time. But I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on one of these.
Dude, I think that'd be real smart.
Like I'm like maybe two of them, because I definitely want to hold one.
Think of this: if they fall to the mint price, which it could happen, especially if the market tanks. Which, by the way, I haven't said this here. I think this is all gonna I think the floor is gonna fall out. I think we're gonna dump hard in November. Historically, it has done that for the past 5 years. So I'm totally predicting November to suck. But if they fall to mint price, you're down 0.2 ETH. Not bad still to be holding something that's as significant as this at just that, you know, that little bit of a loss that's also just temporary. But why risk it? I think this is a very safe price to be in at a 2K edition Snowfro. And I'll point out these and then I can move on. But I think there's something to this style too, where it's got the gradient outline. And the middle part, this is called like solid color. It's a solid single color, but the color happens to be white. So if you print this on a black hat, I think they look really cool. And there's not a ton of them. There are, I think, 40 total of solid white. Yeah, it's just something to be watching for if you're looking for something that stands out that down the road. I think people will hunt for something that's like better than the rest. I think something like that with a solid white probably will. All right, I'll shut up about.
No, I love this. No, it's funny. I really enjoyed this type of thing because you have an eye for it, like you really do. And there was somebody that I met in London last year, and I remember telling you this guy. He was a physical art collector. Worked with Christie's auction house, and he was really interested in NFTs. In really the future in the long run of NFTs. And he said to me, he's like, I think one of the things that people are not really grasping right now, because like a lot of us are not fine art collectors. He's like, I think the thing that people are missing is in the art world, years down the road, people are going to sell their collections. They're going to auction off their collections. So having a well-rounded collection is important, and it's something I'm always thinking about when I think of like my vault and what's in it. Is what could you potentially sell 15, 20 years from now if this turns into what we think it's going to turn into? What rounds your collection out? Like you have some, like, you know, imagine you go in. Piece. Yeah, like think if you have like you got the V1, like think how interesting of a collection it is to have like a Punk, an Ape, a Genesis Kong, a V1 Punk, some X copies, a Beeple, Snowfro, and then to be able to take, you know, those kind of legacy pieces and be like, okay, now's my time to exit because I could potentially sell this for, you know, 2.5 million, or I'm making that number up. But that's always what I'm like thinking of when I'm like, what do I want my collection to look like years from now? Is what that guy said about people missing the idea of selling the collection versus just like, what can I sell this NFT as?
So freaking smart. All right, then I'm going to drop another art alpha call for you. Okay. First, now you got me friggin' racing to delist a couple things. I had listed my Hackatow.
Ooh, yeah, dude. That's a piece.
I mean, Hackatow fell off, so like nobody cares. Oh, good. You know what? Thank God. I had it listed just for like 24 hours. Maybe it fell off and somebody threw an offer. Just 1 ETH. Like Hackatow fell off, but I still think Hackatow's significant enough that this. I mean, I hope this will always get me 3 to 5 ETH, but you never know down the road. So why chance it? Okay. You guys know Rafiq, right? Rafiq Anadol, same dude that we talked at the very beginning. First piece of NFT art accepted in the Museum of Modern Art's collection. He had the Winds of Yawanawa collection. English, I don't know how, man. I'm going to, but I don't know how yet. Good to see you too, by the way, man. I don't know how yet, but I need to be. Rafiq has a collection that I mean, it's not like Winds of Yawanawa exactly, but it is alive like that. It's using data and then with AI used to like kind of like make the image swimmy. Okay, so he has a collection that he did that used data from a shuttle launch, like a spaceship, a space shuttle launch. It's called T Series. There are 3 NFTs in this collection. They're not open edition. No, they were. I think they were open edition for a short time. These 3 NFTs, they range from 220 editions in one all the way up to like 260 editions in the biggest one. But right now they're at an ETH you can get one. So a Rafiq Anadol, I put him now in the top NFT artists, up there with Beeple and Xcopy. I would be throwing offers at these. So I wouldn't spend an ETH on them right now because I don't think there's enough demand. Although I don't think it'd be bad to have one and sit on it forever for an ETH. Like Xcopy, Beeple's bullshit, politics is bullshit NFTs. NFT. That's a 100 edition NFT, but the floor's like 30 to 50 ETH on it or something. That just shows that open editions from the biggest artists can really gain some value. So I bought this for like 0.6 ETH a couple weeks ago. I think you could throw some offers on these and get them for half an ETH. So yeah, here's 0.79, here's 0.68, here's 0.30 just 11 days ago. 0.9, I think 0.69 is me. Yeah, so there's mine. But some of the guys also are not paying attention, and you can get a 0.3 ETH offer in there that probably would get accepted. It's just going to take a little work and maintenance. Some of the guys have this botted. So like you throw an offer and they automatically upbid you by 0.001 or whatever. You're going to be fighting those dudes, but there's definitely an opportunity in this collection.
You know, check what Saintless is. I feel like Xcopy Saintless was 1 ETH, give or take. I still think that's like, I still think, 200 edition. I mean, it's a variant. So it's 600 edition with the 3 variants.
Yep. Totally agree about Xcopy.
Way undervalued.
He's just always going to be a dude. He always will. He's just part of the culture. He is the culture. He was for a while. He still is. Rajan, you may be boogieing here. I'm just going to tell you real quick. Predictions for the next bull run. Dude, it's so hard to say. Prediction is most of this stuff. English, I am on StreamYard. Most of this stuff is not coming back, right? Most of our bags never going to pump again. In a few years, though, we'll probably, maybe not all of us, but some of us are going to, have something that right now is worth nothing in our wallet that all of a sudden is going to be worth 10, 15, 20 ETH. Like just one of the artists we collect is going to go parabolic. It just seems to happen. But very little out there now is going to return in any really significant way. Doesn't mean there won't be some gains there, right? In the big collections like Azuki and Pudgies and Cyberkongs and all those. But we've seen with NFTs, it's always a new crop. It's just always a new batch of NFTs that are the ones that blow up. So other than a CryptoPunk, I don't know. I'll say this. The ones that are actually building a project, those will definitely go up, right? The Cyberkongs will definitely go up in the next bull run. The Pudgy Penguins will definitely go up too. But anything else, I wouldn't be buying anything now. I don't have a lot of faith in most stuff. Yeah, and Rajan, Henry the Grape is he's on the council with the Cyberkongs. He's my little brother too, so it's a family affair here. He's definitely someone to be following.
Need to pull this guy in idiots. Or is he an idiot?
No, I don't think he is. Rajan, come back next week, and I do daily videos. I don't know if you've seen that, but every day I do a 5-minute morning video to catch people up on the market. If you reply to one of those, I'll send you a link. You're welcome to join my Discord. It's a little private group. It's not an alpha group. We just hang out, just friends. But you're welcome to join us, man. All right, let me see. I don't know that I had any other topics. I mean, I think we covered all of it. Again, it was like just such a crazy week. Okay. I'll wrap with this. Okay, if we're hyped about Snowfro, we're hyped about Opepin and their collab. I think there's another collab coming here. All right. And it's a big one. And it just makes sense. I think Opepin, I think Jack Butcher's going to be partnering with everyone. Do you see that?
Let me see. Yes. Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, every days is something else. I'm sorry, not every days, but the VV. He's got his VV. I can't remember the name of the collection. Jack Butcher's got another collection that uses that. But he's already partnered with Pudgy Penguins. He's now partnered with Snowfro. He's going to get all of the biggest collections. in theory, could do one with him. Dude, I've always thought people would end up doing an Opepin. It just makes sense. So, and he's made Opepins as his dailies too, multiple times. Opepins are pretty damn smart to be collecting. Maybe wait till after the Snowfro pump and people start dumping those again. But maybe we're scooping one. Yeah. So Henry, maybe even for you, it's maybe get one of the Snowfro velocity things that we were just looking at, and maybe get an Opepin. They're gonna be nice.
I'm definitely getting one of the Snowfros this week. But maybe to your point, maybe I'll wait till like mid-November possibly for a November dump. But you know what? That just means it'll run.
That was why I didn't wait, because it's still at Snowfro, still it's at 2000. I've seen how these goes, like Kim Assendorf and his cargo collection. Man, I sold one early. Just I don't know. These things, when they run, become out of touch. You can't get them again. So like if you're risking it dumping 0.2 ETH, I think the flip side is you're risking it becoming a 1 to 2 ETH piece and then being really hard to get. So I would just say my advice, this is kind of the peak of them right now. Oh, they did get up to 0.7, 0.8. They might have got to almost 0.9. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't, if you like it enough and you believe that it may have some future value, I think the difference of it falling 0.2 ETH shouldn't matter.
Scroll down real quick. Like there was like a really plain up a little bit. Sorry, slowly. One more row. One more. Right there.
Yes.
So that, yeah. You know what? Awesome. Do you remember that Zan can I got that just is like really plain? It's
with the leaves.
Yeah. It has like one leaf in it or no leaves.
Yeah.
And then when we were minting, I don't know if you minted Squardinals, but I did, and I minted just like a black one, like just completely black.
Yep.
I like those really like plain. There's something about that I just like.
Oh, dude. I'm with you. And those are the ones that stand out down the road when everybody wants in and you got a bunch of rich guys who don't want a floor. They start looking for the ones that are different. And they're going to look for that one that you liked. They're going to look for something like that. So I just pulled up, and I will end here. I pulled up all of the single color ones because that's where you can get the ones that are empty, like the white ones. So you can see there's 206 of solid color ones, but again, only 40 of them are white. So in the whole collection, only 40 of them are that look, and some of them are really cool, like really cool. I like the gradient ones, but the one that's like just the bars, like gray bars or navy bars that's white inside are, man, just here. Look at it with the black background.
I was just going to say, if you go black on it, what's it look like? Yeah, I like it, man.
They look like windows, like they're so cool. And then always hidden rarity things. There's 2 or 3 of these that only have 3 marks. And those sold for 5 ETH already. Worth peeking over to see if there was more than the 2, and if maybe there's something out there and that nobody's bid on yet. But that's a little secret. Just a few of these only have 3, dashes or the arrow things, and those are going to be grails too. Which there's no trait for it. It's just one of those like kind of secret grails.
Love it, man. Yeah, thanks for explaining that. That's cool. Maybe I'll hit you up this week and go hunting for one.
When you go shopping, let me know. Happy to help out. All right, fellas. Yeah, Luca Nets picked a plain one. Yeah. Luca grabbed a nice one. Absolutely. Fellas, thank you for joining. This was it's like last week. This is a blast. So I'm going to keep doing them. Just Saturday instead of the 5-minute morning video. It's going to be, a 1 or 2 hour live show, and I'll start promoting them better and we'll get a crowd. Anybody who's here listening, this show is for the community to come up and chat, not for founders and project people to come chat. It's for the community to come and just hang out. So you ever want to come on, just send me a DM and I'll invite you up and we'll shoot the shit and talk about the past week.
Dude, I'm glad mobile works because I got the drive every Saturday, so happy to chill.
Absolutely perfect.
Whenever.
Cool. Hope you all have a great day. New video tomorrow morning, so check it out, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir.
See you, cats.
See you.